The name of the story is The First Time in Marin, and it starts with an epigram. I once knew a person who ran away from himself and made it. First time in Marin. I was in love with no love at all, on a plane, in a ship, alongside the full moon and darkling sea. When I landed, I took a bus to Tijuana and got a room on the street. I skated through the donkey show and made sure my dream was so phony it was real. For 3 weeks, I stayed in a tin hut near the market. My neighbors got to know me as Gringo Lou. I told them I used to pitch for the Cubs. The next day, a lovely maid came into my room and told me she'd show me her secrets. I said I couldn't hear her because I was buried in somebody else. She left quietly. The next day, I visited the brujo. Is it too late for me? I asked. Little will be known until you're alive or dead. You have youth on this ride and the strength of nothing to hide. Are you a movie? I asked. He hit me on the head and tried to take all my money. I tackled him from behind and took all his roots. There was cha-cha music playing in the background as I clawed my way to the border. Back in San Francisco, all my time was spent trying to watch PBS and write poems. I was staying with my 2 friends, Gary and Mary again. They didn't believe me when I told them I'd seen the Virgin Mother in their hallway on Geary Street. I said I was only kidding, but they didn't believe that either. You could smell eucalyptus in the early morning dew. It was like a natural surgeon trying to heal you. But it wasn't working on me. I was in a beautiful picture I'd look at, but couldn't feel. I headed for the NyQuil. I peered in the mirror. She left me for a mailman, I said to my reflection. It felt like a moment in a foreign film. I told the Agains. They laughed and went to work. When they were gone, I'd fill up on Irish coffees and go to church, where I recalled what Sister Percepia told us the day before our first communion. Don't bite the host. If you bite the host, your tongue will swell and bleed, and the bleeding will never stop. Out on hate, I wrote a poem called Host Bite. It began with the lines, "Oh, Wanda." It was the only poem I'd ever write in San Francisco. By day, Christian hangovers sent me into unconscious humiliation. By night, I walked up and down the holy hills searching for pornography the way a good fighter goes to the body. On my nighttime journeys, no love at all would blow me kisses from afar. Memory was a gangway between Beethoven and 96 Tears. My soul was a cheap thought shut up in a gray hotel with plastic curtains. I asked for the key to my room. I went up. No Love at All was waiting. She had a Professor Backwards album playing at 78 RPMs. She said it was mood music. In a moment of clarity, I closed my eyes and picked a lady therapist out of the white pages. When I showed up for my appointment, she asked me if I'd like to stay. No, I said. Then why don't you go back to where you live? You mean Chicago? Is that where you're from? When I'm alive, I said. Have you been kicked out of life? I said nothing. Are you a criminal? I said nothing. Can you pay for this session? I'm a poet who's given all his love to no love at all. You must get it back, she said. Why? Do you know no love at all? She didn't answer. My tape is long and involved, I said. She took me to her sun deck and showed me a sparrow she held in her hand. When she opened her hand, the sparrow didn't fly. In fact, it did nothing but stare blankly. Then I noticed it was stuffed. "This is no love at all," she said. "It chooses to stay with me, so you are free." I saw myself throwing a pair of superconductor dice at Einstein's head. Einstein opened his mouth, caught the dice, and spit out snake eyes with his ears. "My friends will save me," I said. Suddenly the sun came out from behind a deep gray cloud. "I don't like the sun," I said. "What do you like?" "I like clouds and snow. I like winter and early dark." She affectionately squeezed my hand. Our 20-minute session was over. It cost me $500. When I asked her where I should go, she gladly gave me directions to a holistic Chinese whorehouse. There I told my story to a young woman named Chin. She asked me if it was my first time in Marin. "Yes," I said, and gave her 100 when I finished my Chablis. From now on, it was just no love at all and me.